Chapter 13, Another Complication. Alright, so finally new material. She did edit the last 12 chapters, but she made them worse. It's been over a decade to work on it. Like, how could it be worse? Like, ugh. Somebody needs to do a comparative on this. I'm serious. So, Edward did feel the usual guilt when he snuck into Bella's room, even though he knew he shouldn't, but he's here to build up tolerance to her scent. But there's no peace as Bella calls his name in her sleep and wakes up twice, but didn't notice him. When morning comes, he doesn't leave, and he tries to listen. Okay, so he's been in their house for like all day and all morning. She woke up in the night twice and didn't notice him. This is like some Criminal Minds type of shit before the girl gets murdered. Like, this isn't romance. This is like beyond horror and creepy. And yeah. How could you not know you were writing this? And he tries to listen to Charlie's thoughts. Generally, he was worried about Bella on her trip to Seattle, and why wasn't she going to the dance? Like, it goes on a tirade of, like, he wonders if no boy likes her or anything. And it's like, no, she's a lesbian. That's the only way I can fix this book. She's a lesbian. That's why Edward thought he was thinking. Edward goes to his car and turns the corner as Charlie drives away. He watched Bella and studied how she moved. She's wearing a tighter sweater and it turns him on. Ugh. She couldn't sleep and asked what he did last night, and he won't answer. And starts 20 questions, same dialogue. But her CD is Hybrid Theory. Her favorite song is With You. And starts listing movies. Her favorite scent is lavender. Personally, I think it's overrated. I prefer lilac. Her favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids, and she has to go to class. And he's disappointed no one talks to her, so he can't really spy on her until they meet after class. And she says she just wants to see Prince Edward Island and lists places she's been, and the farthest home is here. And she goes quiet at lunch, and her favorite author is Jane Austen, but Emma is full of herself. I read Twilight. So are you. And he starts listing books, and Edward thinks he has to read Tooth and Claw. I'm actually going to check this one out. And he thinks he can see elements of the authors in her. And she starts listing music, more 20 questions. Her favorite gemstone is topaz because of his eyes, and his is now chocolate brown. Ugh. She was mayhem in dance class, and lunch is over. Hey, Stephanie, why didn't you include any of this stuff in Twilight? It kind of actually builds her character up a bit, besides being the bland popsicle she was. They had to go to biology, and biology ends, and he feels up her face again before going to the next class. Ben wasn't thinking of Bella, and as long as Edward stayed away from Angela, he was happy. Mike thinks he never had a chance with her, and Edward could think of was Bella, and he clasps his teeth so hard people heard it, and he wants to punch Emmett for what he was thinking. His wager if Bella would live or die, and Rose would be happy to see him fail. How could his family not understand his pain, man? Ugh. And at the end, he meets Bella at gym and more 20 questions. And Bella describes Phoenix. Her favorite places are the library and the pool at Cactus Park. She describes an Acacia tree. I think that's how it's pronounced. And sunsets. And she describes her house and bedroom. Why wasn't this included in Twilight? It actually builds up her character. And it's the Twilight line from Twilight. And he says Charlie is on his way, and Edward wished she would want her father to know about him. If he knew you, if he knew what you were doing and what you think, he would shoot your ass with a shotgun, like any father would. And he senses another car coming. It's Billy Black and Jacob. When Billy gets out of his car, they pull up, and Billy sees Edward. In its neutral territory, he's safe, but Edward still shouldn't go antagonize him, and drives off, but he parks out of sight and spies from the backyard, and feels sorry for Jacob and his infatuations. Yeah, it's only gonna last for like another book. And he thinks the superstitions are myths. Billy didn't stay long. Billy didn't say anything to Charlie, but planned to consult people. And Edward knows he would follow the rules. After all, there's 7 of them. Ugh, that is... And Edward visits Carlisle at the hospital and told him about Billy, and Edward says he'll go home now, as Esme is upset and worried, and she fusses over him at home, and they talk, and she hates to see him suffer. He loves suffering so much. Bella makes him happy. He doesn't know what he'll do if she dies. You'll try to kill yourself. Like you be all emo and try to kill yourself. Ugh. And you can't see past it because you have no life. You're a 100-year-old vampire looking towards immortality and you have no life. Or no hobbies. Like, ugh. Mark Twain was right. And Esme thinks how she loves him and how she'll love Bella. And they hug, and he thinks he can't be human with Bella, and he lies to Esme that things will be alright. You know, this was the chapter in Twilight before, like, the meadow scene, which was my favorite, and I'm kind of disappointed that this isn't the meadow scene. Because I remember being disappointed that when the leak first came, like, this wasn't included. But I see now I have to keep reading to get to it, to judge it. Ugh. And that's chapter 13.